needing someone to help you understand how to navigate and work Elementor and Elementor Pro for your WordPress website, this is going to be the video for you. I'm going to try to briefly go over Elementor, basically the fundamentals, those basic key things that you will use often or that you will be needing often inside of every Elementor built website. I'm going to try to do this in under 15 minutes, but knowing me, I'm probably not going to hit 15 exact. I might go a little bit overboard. You guys know how I do it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into this tutorial where I briefly just go over how to use and navigate Elementor for either building your WordPress website or making edits to your WordPress website. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. The first thing to note is that you have two different ways that you can actually open up the Elementor builder for your website. The first way being just coming here to the left side panel to where it says pages and choose all pages. And most times you're going to either be creating a new page that you want to build with inside of Elementor, or you're going to be editing an existing page that your business owner, or not your business owner, your web designer has already created for you, or that you've already created in the past. So here is the pages for my client's website right here. If she wanted to make any edits to any of her pages, all she have to do is hover over any one of these pages and choose Edit with Elementor. But you will notice something really quickly. Take a look right here. If we look at the admin panel, checkout, and these dashboard pages right here, these three, if you hover over it, it doesn't say anything about editing with Elementor. In fact, the only thing it has is edit, which is not the one you want. Important information. This is not the one you want to click on if you're looking to edit inside of Elementor. Instead, if we go right here to this home page, you will see now we have another edit option that says edit with Elementor. And this is the one you want. Again, if you're going to be making any edits to a Elementor built website, this is the button you're looking for. If you do not click on this button and you click on edit, it's going to take you to the WordPress Gutenberg default editor, which you do not want. So make sure you are clicking on edit with Elementor. And fun fact, it's going to be very self-explanatory to show you which pages are created with Elementor, because as you see next to home, it has dash Elementor right here, when these right here don't have the dash Elementor. The second way would definitely be to just simply go in here and add a new page. Again, if you're looking to create a new page inside of Elementor, then this is what you would do. Obviously, go to all pages, add a new page. Once you title out this page, let's go ahead and just say new page, then the next thing you need to do is click on this big blue button that literally says edit with Elementor. This is what you need to do to open up the Elementor builder. Now let's go back, because there's one more other way that you can actually get to the Elementor builder, which I think most people might actually feel like this better. Let's go over here and visit my client site. Let's go ahead and right click, open this up in a new window. And here's my client site. And again, we're going to try to make some edits to this about page if she wanted to. Then she needs to just click on the about page, or she can just view her website as normal. And at the very top, you have this little top bar. And if you guys have not watch my WordPress tutorial, stop what you're doing. Okay, don't stop what you're doing. Finish this video, but then after, go watch this tutorial. I have it put on the screen and it'll be linked in the description box. Go watch that. It's just going to go over WordPress and the fundamentals of how it all works. However, once she opens up the particular page in the preview mode that she wants to edit, at the very top, she also has the option to edit with Elementor. Now, this is where it gets kind of fun, because the thing is, when it comes to websites are created in three different parts. You have the header, which is this top bar right here. The stuff in the middle, like all of these details we see right here, is considered the body or the page details. And then at the bottom here is her footer. Now I'm going over, be sure you guys will subscribe if you guys want these videos, because I'm already going over making edits to the header and footer. However, if she wanted to make edits to this page, she can do so again just by clicking on this edit with Elementor. But again, what I was getting to is that right here, if you just hover over it, you will see that you also have the option to edit this header template or even the footer template. And the reason being that you get these other options is simply because they're recognizing this particular page and they're like, hey, there's a few things that you can edit on this page that is associated with Elementor. AKA the header. We created this header inside of Elementor. So you can edit the header if you only want to edit the header, only want to edit the footer, or you can just click on this button or this option right here at the very, very top, the actual label, to go ahead and just open up this particular page inside of Elementor, which is what we did, and we have it open right here. Now, let's talk about some fundamentals really quickly. So if you're going to be editing a page that's built inside of Elementor, then this is what you need to do. As you see, there is some pink lines that are popping up everywhere every time we hover over something different inside of this website. And that's simply because everything is built between either widgets or containers. So let's take this top bar right here that says the founder. If we were to hover over the actual text, you see we get this big pink box around the text that says the founder. Well, if we go outside of the text, you see that now it just has, it just has this pink box that sits around the green box. That's indicating that this green box is the container and it's holding a text widget. And let me break this down a little bit more. So let's click on these little dots right here because that's actually saying, hey, open the details up over here. So on this left side panel is where all the magic happens. By default, you'll be on this page or this plus button right here, which is called the elements, or as us, seasoned web designers, we know this as the widgets. These are the different things that you can drag into your page and you can begin making edits to. Now I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. I just want to quickly show you how it works on this panel here. Again, these are the widgets. Anything you want, you literally just take it, drag it over onto the page and it'll pop up. And then as you see, you do see the back or the left side panel do have some changes going on. So we just inserted this widget or this element called video. And as you see, it's going to make sure that a video is playing right here underneath our title that says the founder, or anywhere else we want to put it on the page. We can put it anywhere else. But let's just say, for example, we have this widget right here. And as you see on the left side panel, you do have some options here. You have the content, you have the style, and then you have advanced. The easiest way to think about this is the content is going to be the information. So basically, if this is a video, what video do you want to be playing? So you need to either drop the link or you can choose it from any of these other sources right here. Let's say you maybe updated or uploaded a personal video from your camera directly to your website, then you can just click on self-hosted and you can choose it from the media library of your website. Again, if you're going to, like most people do their videos hosted on a YouTube and then just link it, then you have the option to go grab that URL from YouTube and paste it right here. With a bunch of other different editing options, all you have to do is go through them and they're self-explanatory. And then again, you have this style tab. Now for a video, you don't have too much styling options. I'm going to show you some other styling options that you have with other widgets in just a second. But here is where you can edit how it actually looks. So again, the content is just as it sounds. It's the actual stuff that needs to be in here, the information that needs to be in there. And then underneath the style is where you edit the look. So whether you want to round the corners off or you want to change the color of something, you can do that underneath the style tab. And if you really want to get advanced, then that's obviously where this advanced tab comes into play. And again, if you're new to web design, you can really just come over here and play around with this stuff if you want to. Or if you don't necessarily need any of these things, just keep these things. Just don't touch these things. You'll mainly be using the content and the style if you're new to Elementor. So right here on a testing site, I do have this blank canvas right here. So if you open up Elementor, this is typically what you're going to be greeted with. Now, the first thing is to note that websites are made up of containers that sit on top of each other to build out a web page. So the first thing we need to do is go here and we need to start dragging in a container, right? Because we're ready to start putting some stuff on here. So the first thing you need to do is choose whether between, let's go back, whether you want it to be a grid or a flex box. Now this is going to be determined based on you and what you're creating. And drop that down below if you guys want a separate dedicated tutorial going through the differences between a flex box and a grid. I can do that for you guys. If you guys want that, just comment that down below. Let's say you want to just add a simple hero section on your website. Then the first thing you need to do is obviously understand what structure do you want. Is this going to be a side-by-side type of hero section? Is it going to be just a full container or one container section with the text and stuff in the middle? Is it going to be 3 grid? What is this type of hero section going to look like? Let's keep it simple. Let's say you're going to do a simple container right here, and let's say that you want to give it a background image. You're just going to go over here to the style, and you see right here for the containers, underneath the style type, you have this thing called background type. Underneath the classic is where you will see the image. Let's just drop in an image. Say we want this image right here, and let's go back to the widgets. Again, we're going to click on the widgets. We're going to drop in the text for the heading, and then we're going to drop in a text. And let's say we also want us a button. Here is the button right here. And there we go. Now we have this hero section that looks absolutely hideous. Now let's see how we can make this look better very, very quickly. The first thing we need to do is open up this overall container. Again, these three things, this heading, this text, and this button are widgets that's inside of a container, because the overall container is going to be considered our hero section. Now, if I just click on this button right here, these three little dots, I'm now inside the entire container. And as you see on the left side, it tells you exactly what you're editing, which we're editing the container, the main parent container. As you see, we have our image already here, but it's not really big. We want this to take up the full screen. So what we're going to do is go back to the layout, because this is containers. Let me just roll back a little bit. Containers is the only thing that will give you this layout instead of content, because technically the layout is what you are worried about with the container, not necessarily the content, because you don't necessarily have any information for a container. All you do have is the layout. Widgets, however, is going to give you content style in advance. But if we open up the container, containers give you layout style in advance. And the reason why is because, again, containers typically don't have any information. You just need to go ahead and put the information in there. So again, we have our container open right here. Now, the first thing we need to do is go right here to the minimum height. Now, you can change this based off however you want. You can go ahead and go through pixels if that's what you want to go by. Me personally, I just go to this little drop down right here and I go by view H, because I typically just want to say that I want this entire container to be the full width of the window that a person is looking on. If they're looking on their desktop, I want this to take up the entire viewport height of what their device they're looking on. Now, once you got your container looking exactly how you want, now it's time to make the edits to the widgets again. So again, we're going to go to this widget. We're going to go ahead and put white, and let's make this white. And there we go. Now let me go ahead and make it look pretty. Again, I already told you what you need to do. You just need to come in here into the content, change out the text, go to the style, and change out the style. I'm going to do that really quickly so I can come back and quickly continue the rest of this Elementor video. Give me a second. And just like that, we have our hero section completed. So if we were to just close this out, you will see that now we have this nice little hero section right here. Before it was kind of ugly, but we made sure to go into the style tab of everything, even this container right here. We went over to the style and we made some adjustments to the image. We made it full. We made sure that it was centered in the center, and we had the display set to cover, because at first it was set and it was super like big and zoomed in. So we made some edits here. Now, of course, I did some other things that, again, you can figure out as you go and play through Elementor. I did add a background overlay, which is going to be super important if you're going to have background images for any image or container that you have. You definitely want to add a background overlay. So, and then, of course, I added my heading, or made some edits to my heading. So, of course, I clicked here. I went to the style tab. I chose this as my font. I made my font size a bit bigger because it's the heading, it's the first thing that they see. And then, of course, I did the rest to these right here. Now, a cool thing to know about containers inside of Elementor is that you can control the direction. So I'm going to start first with this one right here that's holding these buttons. That way you can get some of an idea of what I mean before I do it on the overall. So right here we have another container that's holding these two buttons. Now this container is the same thing as this main container that's holding everything. There's essentially the same thing, they just have two different use cases. The first one I'm using right here as the overall hero. And if we go back to this layout, you see I made the minimum height 100 viewport width, because I told you I wanted to take up the entire space on the screen of anyone's device. However, for this container right here, I didn't specify a minimum height because I'm just holding these two buttons, and I really just want these two buttons to take up the space of this container, right? So I didn't mess with the minimum height, and that's how we have them here. Now, this is where containers come into very, what am I trying to say? Like, they come in very much handy when it comes to making things that you want to get very specific with. So as you see, that the direction for this container is currently set to be in a row or horizontally, because I wanted these two buttons to sit next to each other. But let's just say, for instance, for some odd reason on desktop, you want your two buttons to sit on top of each other. You can do that by just changing the direction of this container to go in a direction of column or vertical. And as you see, it'll put them on top of each other. Now, let's say, for instance, you wanted to do that for your main container, the container that everything sits in, you can still do that too. So again, we changed this to row. As you see, now everything sits next to each other. Now, obviously, you're going to have to do some edits, right? Because this looks horrible, right? This looks very horrible. So you need to make some edits, but you do have that option to do that. I'm going to keep mine on column because I do want everything going vertically in a row. Now, let's just say for this last part of this Elementor like crash course kind of thing, let's say you wanted to actually edit how this looks on other devices. Let's say your tablet view, right? Or your mobile view, right? If you want to start making the edits to your Elementor site or creating with Elementor and you want to edit the responsive modes of your website or your designs, then right here is where you need to go. So right now you see by default it's on the desktop. That's where most people start designing. And then you go down as you complete a page or a section. So my rule of thumb is every section you go ahead and create, go ahead and go to the tablet and mobile version to go ahead and make those edits. So let's just say we have it right here for the desktop version. It's ready to go. It's all good. But underneath here, we see we need some work. Now all we have to do is just come into whatever widget that looks a little bit off, which in this case, the heading looks off. We want to go ahead and center align this. So we're going to go right here to edit this heading. As you see, we're editing the heading. And underneath the alignment, I'm going to go ahead and choose on center. That way it can kind of align it in the middle with everything else. Now, to me, that looks fine. I'm going to keep it at that, but you do have other options. Maybe you want to edit this typography and make it just a tad bit smaller. You can do that. Then you also have the mobile version, which is going to be super important because 80% of people are shopping or viewing websites on their mobile device. Now, nobody's phone in 2026 should be this dang on skinny, but just in case it is, you definitely want to optimize it. But I like to go up a little bit more as well because I find out somewhere around up in here, that's where I really get my actual iPhone size right here, right? So now I can go here and I can go and make this a little bit smaller. Let's just put this at 3.5 for the heading here. Let's go to this text and let's go over here to the style and let's just keep it at 1 rem right here. And let's go over here to the advanced because I know what I did. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make this be 100% because I had squeezed it in a little bit for desktop, but I think I wanted it about 95 for a mobile version. And there we go. And again, if I want to go to this overall container, because now we're on mobile view, I might not want these to sit next to each other like that because they might not look so good. I can now change it to be vertically. Now, if we were to close this and we view every single responsive mode or every different type of mode, when we go back to the desktop, we clearly see this still in our main desktop design. If we go to tablet, we see it like this. And if we go to mobile, we now see it ready for mobile. And if we just switch it out, we can see how to look from a bigger mobile phone screen size. And that's pretty much it. Once you're done, make your edits or whatever it is you're doing, creating a page, making edits, go ahead and publish this. And once you actually click on this big old pink button that says publish, you can go ahead and preview. So let's go ahead and preview this page. And here we are. This is our page and we can now see it on a live website if this was a live website, but it's not live right now, but this is how it will be. So again, if my client come over here, make some edits, all she gotta do is publish it and she's gonna be good to go. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is exactly how you can go inside of Elementor and work Elementor. This is how you can get very, very familiar with Elementor. You simply just drag and drop whatever widgets and elements to a page. Once you click on whatever widget, you just need to go through the content, put in the information, style to make it look how you want it to visually appear on the website, and you're pretty much good to go. If you guys again need a full Elementor course, I did build out a whole homepage with you guys in this video. Be sure you guys go watch it if you haven't already. And comment down below if there's anything that I missed that you were kind of looking for. And